We are here and we are strong. Let's be counted as we move on. Make a difference, change lives as we tell our different stories. We are capable, beautiful. We are born to do great things. We're unstoppable, incredible, 'cause we're differently abled, differently.
Hello viewer, and a very warm welcome to you. This is Able Differently. Now it is the Christmas season, and as always it is a season of showing love and care to those around us. Welcome to Able Differently. My name is Stella Tioi.
And I'm Benson Mungai. Welcome.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
USIU sensitized its community members on matters concerning people with disabilities. Our crew was there, and this is what was compiled. Take a look.
USIU Africa held their Disability Awareness Week, as is their norm, every year with the theme, "The Future is Accessible." The event is normally held to sensitize the entire USIU community on how to relate with persons with disabilities, and also to check on the strides the administration has taken to accommodate them.
We have been creating awareness for the last 4 years. And what has happened is that through the activities that we have done, inviting our management in the awareness creation activities, we did get management say that they would want to have a policy on disability. So I'd say one of the outcomes of the awareness campaigns that we have been doing led to the development of the disability policy. And with that policy, we also did come up with an implementation plan which has already started.
People not necessarily from the university share their experiences in how best the challenges they face can be handled.
When I came to school, I went back to class 3, and it was very big. I started learning sign language, because in deaf schools they teach using sign language, and I never knew signs. Then I saw many deaf children could understand sign language, but I could not understand it. I started learning, I learned sign language. But the only good thing with me, I loved reading. I can read anything. I can just read. I love reading. And I started learning alone. I read English, I learned. Because I grew up in a very local place. I never knew Swahili. I could only know English because I went to school when I was hearing. I never knew Swahili. Like right now, if I meet someone who don't know sign language, I can only speak English. I can't speak Swahili. So from there, I went to school at university, and then I started to work because I was interested in helping the deaf people. Before, I worked in CIA, and I'm training with the UFP. I worked there for 3 years. I empowered several deaf people, and they got jobs at different places.
I found out that I have dyslexia last year, and at 39 years. So I've been creating awareness since then.
The university still faces the challenges of disclosure from the students, especially those whose disability is not physical, with only a few coming out.
This month is Epilepsy Awareness Month, and in sharing about epilepsy, not a lot of people know, and not a lot of people are aware. So we got an idea of sharing both physical and the mental disabilities, and that's why we incorporated and tried to have everything together. So it's been very hard. I was asked to share just before, and it was very hard, and it's hard coming out. So I would just appeal to everyone, though it's easier said than done. That, yeah, it's much easier when people know your condition. I've learned that the hard way because I've had difficulties even in trying to recover or just dealing with it myself. And it's very important when you have people that are supportive and actually just have everything behind you.
There is a part for disclosure, and basically you see at admission we ask so that we can plan for them effectively. The ones on wheelchair, we'll talk about it because it's very visible, but the hidden disabilities, that's where the challenge is. And maybe it's because of where they have come from, where maybe there was no support and they think it's the same thing that is going to happen. So I believe once they come in, our policy is saying we will accommodate as they come in. We will accommodate. It's not easy, but it's a challenge that the university is willing to take up.
But with the representation of the students with disabilities in the Student Council, strides have been made in hoping for more to come.
Every year we try and have the Disability Awareness Week running during the fall semester, where it's a chance to make the few, well, I'd say that USIU doesn't have 1 million of persons living with disabilities, but for the few who are here, we do it for them. We also do it for those who have maybe people at home, their sisters and brothers who could be facing challenges that if we address them or we make awareness, they're learning maybe how to work with them. You'd hear someone saying, oh, I have a sister who is schizophrenic, or I have a brother who has autism. What's the way forward? What are the do's and don'ts? So it's not just a chance for those who are living with disabilities, but those who are around them as well. And it's also a good chance to make people know about what actually disability is all about and how it can be magnified to be an ability that you no longer have to look at the person. You have to look at the person rather not the wheelchair or whatever assistive device it is that they're using. So it is very important. We don't feel like a burden, and we wish that more and more schools, universities, and colleges could take up the initiative. Start it in your school, do it in your own design, but at the end of the day, deliver the message and let everyone hear the voice on how disability can be made. Can be empowered and made accessible.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
We take a short break, we'll be right back.
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Welcome back. Andy Speaks organized a media briefing on the Neuro Digest Special Needs Edition. Take a look.
On Thursday, 28th November, a media brief on Neurodigest Special Needs Edition was held at the Aspire Center in Westlands, Nairobi. The event, that was attended by an invited number of 121 guests, kicked off at exactly 6:30 p.m. In attendance were special needs parents, caregivers, key stakeholders in government and parastatals and non-governmental organizations. Edwin Osundwa, the country director Sense International Kenya, insisted on the importance of inclusion and gave clarity on the same.
The question is follow-up. We have got a lot of buildings coming up everywhere, even in Nairobi, new buildings, but they still don't follow this universal design principle. Who is complaining? Who is raising their voice? When we leave this conference hall, is there somebody who will give feedback to this place? Like, for example, the toilet was not accessible, for example, the parking was not. That helps them also because they are not experts sometimes in these things. But giving feedback, continuing the conversation will strengthen our position.
Lydia Chege from Kise appealed to parents to stand up and be the voice of their children, prompting them to take what is rightfully theirs and not wait to be given, advising them to be part of the process of decision making and to take up roles that will change their things for the better.
So that we stop having this idea of Mercy saying, I'm tired at home because of this children. I always say, as a mother, I am a mother, by the way I'm a mother. My work was to give birth to children which we co-created with God. Are we together? After the children are born, they're supposed to be born to the state. For me as a mother or as a father, I'm supposed to teach them values. But for them to become those human beings, productive human beings, the state has a duty, has a role to play. But the state will only play that role, for example, if we present ourselves at WOMAS to contribute to that organization. If, for example, I know Alex is still reviewing the Disability Act, I always say there's a reason why that Disability Act has never gone through the second reading in the House. Do you know why? I won't tell you why, but you need to go take the reviewed Disability Act, look for the gaps, look for where we are as parents, go and submit those to the right people. There's a caucus in Parliament. Go present your views. And as they review the Disability Act, as we government review the Disability Act, look at also the CRC. We are saying 30 years. But what is there in the CRC for we as the Kenyan child?
Matthew Kamoyo Karongo has had cerebral palsy for the past 35 years. He is an example of a success story. All this he attributes to the love, care and dedication his mother had in raising him. Currently pursuing his master's, Karungu advised parents to support their children and they would be proud of the outcome.
First of all, for parents, you should accept your child the way he is. Go with him everywhere. I've got to visit the places and what I would like to do with the health care. You see, first of all, you know our children are covered under the private medical care. But when you leave, you try to get your own medical card. I was rejected by every insurance, even international one. That was because I know I'm employed. That was the knock at my office for me to invest. I usually kick them out of the office because if they didn't cover me when I needed them, why are they coming now? Because I'm afraid it is a difficult life.
Ronaldo Villamero is an education officer with UNICEF Kenya and works closely with the government. He had a lot to share with the audience on matters advocacy.
In 2018, that was last year, the United Nations conducted a study to determine the progress that countries made in order to implement sustainable development goals and the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The report, if you have your Google and your phones right now, is called Disability and Development Report. And the report stresses the progress as well as recognizes the challenges that people with disabilities continue to face. We recognize that there has been progress in terms of policies, in terms of commitments, in terms of funding, but the report also emphasizes the challenges that people with disabilities continue to face. Mercy mentioned about the health. The report exemplifies that people with disabilities continue to be marginalized in terms of health access. In terms of education, a number of children with disabilities continue to be out of school, but if they're in school, they're usually in segregated schooling instead of being part of the mainstream schools. So the report acknowledges the challenges that people with disabilities continue to face. In order to respond to these challenges, the United Nations decided to launch the UN Disability Inclusion Strategy. And this is a strategy that mandates all UN agencies, including UNICEF, to ensure that in our programming, in our service delivery, in everything that we do as a UN agency, we promote the inclusion of people polio.
Martin from the Ministry of Education pointed out challenges the government faces and also emphasized what the government has done for people with special needs, not forgetting the assessment process and upcoming assessment centers, led by the president who not so long ago set aside 20% of funding to go towards learning institutions.
We have made some steps, of course. One is the introduction of NEMIS. You know about NEMIS. Once the child is registered in NEMIS and the child is shown in NEMIS as a child having a disability, obviously the extra funding that goes to children with disabilities will go to this child. What does this one open? This one means that the child that has a disability who is registered in NEMIS will now be able to get this funding for a child with a disability, regardless of the school they are in. They could be in your next door school that is not a special school as we call them, but they will get the funding because they are registered as a child with a disability. So I think that's a step forward because currently only children that are in integrated programs, in units and special schools get this funding. And for me that is a step forward. In terms of staffing, there's an issue that has been raised about staffing, which also touches on inclusive education. As we sit here, I know KISA does most of the training for our learners, and right now they've trained almost 40,000 teachers and other personnel in special needs education, special and inclusive education. Madam Lydia might want to clarify that later in terms of the numbers. But in the new curriculum, the curriculum for teacher training is also being reviewed. And once it is reviewed, training for all teachers, all of them in the entirety, will also include a component of special and inclusive education. So we will not be looking at a situation where there are teachers in the schools and they actually don't know that these children exist. They will have been exposed in school. Now, if they want to go and advance that knowledge or they have basics of, then that will be upon the individual teacher.
Sylvia Mochabo, a mother of 3 boys, has been able to give a voice to the voiceless, something she attributes to being a mother of special needs children, and was kind enough to share her story briefly.
I have 3 boys, and out of the 3 boys, 2 of them are actually neurodevelopmentally challenged. One is autistic, the other one has ADHD. And being a single parent, it has been a walk in the forest, not in the park for me. I have had to learn the hard way. When I turned 35 earlier this year, yes, I wanted to do something for myself. Then I just figured it is not me. I wanted a party because I have never thrown a party, but then it didn't feel right. So I wanted, what can I give back? I had already started looking and questioning, why did God give me these children? What can I do different? And as a Rotarian, I have been able to sit in committees where we try to make a difference in society. And this has exposed me to all the things that we are able to do and be the change you want to be. So using my story and all the things that I have gone through, I decided to launch Andy Speaks, which I was only doing online, using my son, because special needs parents don't like putting their children out there. I decided to take my own child, my own journey, to be an example for other parents that it is possible, single or not, supported or not, you can be able to do it. God gives you something for a reason. So I opted to turn the story around and make it become the story to make someone else learn and grow. So that's why we started Andy Speaks, because I look at how my child is not able to talk. He started talking at 5. It was the longest wait for a mom. I'm sure there are other mothers who are still waiting. But when he started talking and all the things that he had been going through, I try and imagine how other parents must feel. So if this is growing up the first 5 years, how about his future? If I'm not there, who will be able to understand his language? If I am not there, God forbid I pass on right now, who will be able to embrace him for who he is and make sure that he lives a near normal life? So that is where the thought of Andy Speaks came from.
After the lengthy discussions, it was time for question and answer session as parents posed their questions.
I am a center who has 160 children, but the government can do nothing about the children I have. Yet, if anything goes wrong in the school around these children, the government is up in arms. So where does the government draw the line that now I'm a Kenyan child and now I'm a private child?
'Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Disability empowerment, capacity and sustainability has given children with special needs a reason to smile over the years. During this year's annual meeting, they hope that this will continue for many years to come. Take a look.
Disability Empowerment, Capacity and Sustainability, DECAS, held their annual meeting on 30th November 2019.
Whenever challenges come, there is God in heaven, because I'm a Christian. And I tell them, when you lose something, there is something that God always leaves behind to make you move on. We have gathered so many people from Machakos County and other places. And one of the things is to tell them you are not alone.
The event is meant to bring the members together, and this year a fund drive was incorporated.
Mr. Charles aitoa 10,000. Imosid miongezwa 500. Boniface Kioko ametoa 300.
We have been organizing events, especially today we have a fund drive in order to assist in earning funds to start a sort of polytechnic for the adults.
DECAS started some years back and its impact has been greatly felt. Apart from giving support to children with special needs, their caregivers are also empowered. Joram is happy of the progress they have been able to make, given that a few years back he was at his lowest. It is their hope that more people will come on board to help in this noble cause.
Cause we're differently abled, differently.
Let's take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability.
Article 6 of the UN Convention states that state parties recognize that women and girls with disabilities are subject to multiple discrimination, and in this regard shall take measures to ensure the full and equal enjoyment by them of all human rights and fundamental freedoms.
In our etiquette of the day, we focus on deaf people or those with hearing impairments. It's always right, before you start speaking to them, at least tap them or wave your hands to get their attention. What do you think, Stella?
Absolutely true. Most of the times we tend to talk to people with disabilities, but we don't really know how to approach them. So I feel like it's really important that people know what kind of etiquette to use when approaching people with disabilities.
Enough said. And that's all we had for you today. Until next time, remember, it's the Christmas and the festive season. Remember to be safe and try to make a difference. I've been your host, Benson Mungai.
And I, Stella Tioi.
Until next time, bye.